Today I'm going to dive into a discussion that it's not so hot, but I always think about it, and it's recently been brought back to life again. Now, why don't gamers finish games? Off topic, it feels nice to do a video other than a review, so I'm excited for this one. I get to play whatever I want and just talk about something that I genuinely enjoy talking about. What's up, folks? My name is Tanner, and today I'm just going to chat on the fact that tons of gamers don't finish games and how they affect us. And then afterwards, I'd love to see everyone's thoughts on this. And a quick disclaimer, I'm not talking down on anyone who doesn't finish games. I've obviously been there before. I'm just here to talk about it and see what everybody thinks. So what sparked me to write about this is there's a new game coming out, and I can't wait for it. It's called It Takes Two, a co-op puzzle experience that looks like a blast and the perfect game to collect items. But that's not the case anymore, as this game won't feature collectibles. And of course, Joseph Fares, I'm sorry if I say it wrong, said in the interview I read that you don't need shiny shit lighting your way for you, and I can agree, but what really brought this interview to my attention is the idea that collectibles are being used as a mechanic of replayability. But how could that even work when gamers don't finish their initial playthroughs? That's why devs today are so focused on getting us to finish their titles rather than anything else. This, of course, is the newest coverage on the thought that we don't complete our games, but where I got interested in this topic was when Guerrilla Games spoke on it. They spoke on how a very low percentage of people actually beat Horizon Zero Dawn, and it hurt them. They could have spent money elsewhere to improve the overall game versus worrying about making it a decent sized map with tons of content. Now, with this, I do also bring an interesting statistic that some of you might not know. A very anticipated game came out last year, and fans were raving about it, on and on about it, but yet only 58% of people who bought it beat it. And that is The Last of Us Part 2. And I find that to be baffling. People have been anxiously waiting years upon years for this game, so why didn't more people complete it? And that brings me to this question for everyone. Obviously, we have beaten games in our lifetime, yes, but for the games we don't, why? There are a lot of reasons for this, and I know because I see it all the time. A game is just too drawn out. I wanted to move on to the next hot title that everyone else is playing. Maybe your personal life prevents you from having the hours to finish these games. This next one, though, I resonate with the most. Not so much now since I review and I really have to beat these games, but after conversations with my friends and my Discord, people don't want the game to end. So they try and stretch it out as much as they can, if that's a year or 2 years, because after they complete the game, it feels like an empty spot. Now what do? I've waited years for this game and now I'm done. The reason I agree with this one the most is because I feel this one. Because this is how I felt about Cyberpunk. I waited so many years, and after a week, I was finished. And I had to move on. But of course, I have to move on because I have other titles to review, so it's Hobson's choice for me when it comes to sightseeing and video games. Other than, when I'm in review mode and soaking up as much detail as I possibly can. Now, another interesting thought is this discussion isn't just about not beating the game. Way back in the PS2 era, we had tons of platformers, and now we don't because games just move on. It goes with the crowd. Who's playing this? What does everybody want to play? And for me personally, I think that people not beating games is also another reason why we have so many live service games. Developers obviously are going to make their money from us one way or another, and usually it's another. Microtransactions. They grab us and suck us in with cool cosmetics, battle passes, etc. Statistically, live service games are just the way to go if you want to avoid, players not completing your games. GTA is probably the best example to give. It's been going strong since 2013. Regardless if you're a fan or not, it just has. And what proves my point is one simple question. Where is the single player DLC? It's non-existent because the multiplayer is where everyone is. So of course Rockstar is going to put all their focus there by adding new cars, accessories, weapons, heists, etc. So yeah, to me, a lack of players beating games does equal more live service games, or the live service sides of games like GTA Online, Red Dead Online, Warzone, Apex. And yeah, I said Apex because if you play Titanfall, then you know what Apex is. And I can keep going on with the list. So my question to you, if you don't beat games, why? Now, like I said, I'm not talking down. I'm genuinely just interested to see why people don't beat games because I can agree with some of the reasonings. In fact, I can agree with most of them. Life just happens, etc., etc. But another question too is how else do you think that not completing games affects the way that we are receiving said titles? How else are games going to change in the future because of this or something similar? And just as a little cool thing you can do is with most systems like Xbox, PlayStation, or storefronts like Steam and Uplay, they have an achievement system. So you can also see the statistics. Look at the first trophy or achievement and the percentage of any given game. Then compare it to the one you get for completing the game. It is always a drastic difference. And then if you want to take it a step further, if the game has a sequel, compare it. See how it changed. Maybe it looks better, but it's shorter. Maybe it has cut content. Maybe not. Only thing I know for sure is that this is not the case for Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla. Now that's all I got, folks. If you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe? Otherwise, hit that thumbs down. Till next time, fellas.